can make money reselling regardless of the inventory that you have available to you. You just need to know. What's up, y'all? It is your girl, Sarah from Sarah Styles here. I recently did a video about listing more is not necessarily the answer for resellers, and I will link that up here, but I kind of alluded to having a high average sale price, and that is not the only way that you can make money reselling. In today's video, I'm going to walk you guys through 3 different models, vastly different models on how to make $10,000 a month. And then at the end, I'm going to show you guys how to figure out exactly what you need to do to make the money that you want to make, how to figure out these numbers for yourself. So let's jump into it. All right, so it's going to start with a golden formula for resellers. Before you guys stop and say, hey, Sarah, this is really scary math, I am going to break this down and just break it down for you and show you how to use this formula to make the money that you want to make. This is what I base my business off of, and it's just using math to make the money that you want to make. You have gross revenue on one side, and then you have these other variables on this side. To increase one side, you simply just increase the other side, right? That's what an equal sign means in equation. One side equals the other side. So in this formula, you have your sell-through rate, your active listings, and your average sale price. Your sell-through rate is simply how many items that you have how many items that have sold out of how many items that you have available. If you have 50 pairs of jeans and they all sold in the time period that you're looking at, you had 100% sell-through rate on your jeans. That's all sell-through rate means. And then you have your average sale price. On average, how much are these items selling for? So then when you look at the golden formula for resellers, you have your sell-through rate times how many items you have available. So it's essentially saying how many items have sold times what they're selling for. That's all this formula means, how many items have sold on what average price they're selling for. That tells you how much money are you actually making. So by knowing and using this formula, I will now share with you guys 3 different models, very different models to make $10,000 a month. And it's going to depend on what you have available to you. Do you have really high priced inventory? Then your model is going to look different. Your sell-through rate is going to be different and your average sale price is going to be different. Do you only have items available to you that are more bread and butter, right? So we will go through a high average sale price. So if you have really high value inventory available to you, we will go through a low average sale price. Can you only get items that cost $7 on average to sell? What do you have to do to make $10,000? And then we'll go through a kind of a bread and butter. I consider like $10 or $15, between $10 and $20. So I said $15 for a bread and butter example. All right, so let's start with the low price items. You have low price items. Over here, you can see the gross. You want to make $10,000 a month. Just because of, change and rounding and stuff, this is $10,002 in this example, but roughly $10,000. In order to do this, and you only have access to low price items, you only have access to on average items that are selling for $7. You can still make $10,000, but you have to have 3,040 active listings, and you have to have a sell-through rate of 47%. So you need to have active listings, and you need to have a high sell-through rate. You can make money selling low price items. If that's all you have access to, or if that's what you enjoy finding, you can make money selling low price items. You just have to have a really high sell-through rate. So the items that you're picking up, you want them moving quickly. And something that I have done when we're selling lower price items is work on efficiencies. Because if you're having to sell 47% of your inventory to make that amount of money that you want to make, you need to have your processes down pack, because you're going to be shipping more, you're going to be listing more, you're going to be taking more photos, right? So these are all things to consider if you want to sell lower priced items. Now, the second model is going to be our high average sale price items. So you have inventory to items that are selling really high. And this is kind of what I think social media makes us think is the best way to go. And if I alluded to this in my video, I apologize. I was just showing, I'll link the video up above. But there are various different ways to do this. if you have access to items that can sell for over $100, typically, if this is the model that you're going for, you know luxury, you have access to luxury, but typically you're spending a lot more time sourcing. It takes a lot longer to find items that are going to sell for $100 than it does to find items that are going to sell for $7. Neither one of these is right or wrong. It's just different. But to make the money that you want to know, you need to understand these numbers to say, hey, I can sell items for $7 and make $10,000. I can also spend more time and find items for $100. If I do that, I only need to have 500 items. And my sell-through rate can be much lower. If you're selling items significantly higher, you don't need to sell as many of them, and you don't need to have as many of them available. Typically speaking, higher price items are going to sit for a little bit longer, so you're going to have a lower sell-through rate. But when they sell, it's going to sell for $100. Again, none of these are right, and none of them, I'm not telling you which one you need to do. I'm showing you the numbers so that so you can figure out which one is going to work best for you. If you have access to these high average sale price items, you don't have a lot of time to list and ship, that may be the better strategy for you. If you don't want to learn luxury, finding items for $7 might be the better strategy for you. And then we have the third example, and this is more bread and butter. I think most resellers that I talk to kind of fall in this line, and you can still make $10,000 selling bread and butter. Your average sale price is $15, but yes, you do have to have a high active closet. You have to have a lot of items available, and we'll put your sell-through rate around 30%. Depending on what you sell, this is going to vary. Obviously, these are just examples, and I will show you guys in just a minute how to look at this for your exact numbers. Look at what your average sale price is, what your sell-through rate is to figure out where you need to go. But bread and butter, you can still make that money. Your active closet needs to be in between if you were selling really low price items and if you were selling high price items, and your sell-through rate as well. You kind of just need to have middle of the row items, $15 average sale price, a large active closet, and you need to be selling 30% of your inventory for this time period, let's say a month, for this time period to be able to make $10,000. Before I show you guys how to figure this out for your numbers so that you can kind of play and manipulate with your numbers, if you like this kind of content where I am actually showing you how to make money reselling, not just telling you what works for me. So if you guys like learning how to make more money, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Give me a like, save this video so that you guys can reference back to this as you are growing and learning. You can continue to use this. The nice thing about this is it doesn't matter what niche you're in. It doesn't matter what time period you look at. This is going to work now. It's going to work in 6 months when you change your strategy. It's going to work in 5 years when trends change and the economy has changed. The nice thing about math is it works regardless. It works for everybody in every situation. You just have to understand it. All right, so let's get into the bonus tip if you guys want to know how to do this for yourselves. So there's a couple of ways. You can use the formula and work yourself backwards and do the math. If you guys like math as much as I do, it's probably not that big of a deal. I know that everybody out there is not as dorky as I am, nor do they want to spend the time doing this. They would rather spend the time sourcing or listing or whatever you enjoy the most. And so I have created the Sarah Style Sales and Trends dashboards. These are dashboards. You import your data and then it'll give you these numbers. It'll give you your sell-through rate. It'll give you your average sale price. And what's awesome about it is you can scroll down here and you have a simulator. This number right here, you can say, hey, I want to make $10,000. I want to make $5,000. I want to make $1 million. It is completely customizable. And then it looks at your specific data and comes down to this chart and says, hey, this is exactly what you need to do. These are as many active items that you need. This is your average sale price that you need to have. And this is how many items that you need to sell. It tells you exactly what you need to do to make the money that you want to make. If you like videos like this, YouTube also thinks that you would like this video. I will link some more data analytics for reseller tips here, and then do make sure to hit that subscribe button.